I'm Thomas Hudson, and I am known as the Talking Veteran, and it is such a pleasure to have you here on this radio show. The Talking Veteran came as a result of my walk across America to testify in a congressional hearing 4 years ago. If you look at walkingveteran.com, and as a result of that in Arkansas, I also sit on the board for the Arkansas Veterans Network, and it is such an honor to be able to talk with the Attorney General of Arkansas. And if I may say this up front, I've been all over this country, and you're the most proactive Attorney General I have seen. And your stand on the NRA is right on the money, because in Arkansas, the natural state, we think it's just simply natural to protect our constitutional values. We have here on the show the Attorney General of Arkansas, Wesley Rutledge. She is the 56th Attorney General of Arkansas. She was sworn in 2015 and is the first woman and Republican to hold that office. Attorney General.
Well, thank you so much for having me on and giving me the opportunity to visit with you today. And what an incredible background you have. Thank you for sharing your story, for testifying, for being a dedicated public servant leader on behalf of America. And it's just a pleasure of mine to be here with you today.
Well, thank you. I want to go directly into a program that you have, and that is the Military and Veterans Initiative. Could you explain what that program is all about?
Absolutely. So when I came into office as the Attorney General in 2015, we did not have a dedicated program for our veterans and active military. And we now have two staff members, two veterans who are dedicated to taking care of our vets and our active duty, and whether it's protecting them from common scams where they're being targeted, or ensuring that they have someone, a conduit, if you will, even to work with our federal officials, or working through the Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs and Colonel Nate Todd. So we are aggressively pursuing opportunities to help out the brave men and women who have done so much for America and for Arkansas.
Well, we do appreciate all of the help that you could give the veterans, because something that's became a national problem is our senior citizens that are veterans. Like in Little Rock a couple years ago, a World War II veteran had all of his money scammed out of his bank account. The oldest veteran living at the time, he passed away a couple years ago at 114 in Austin, Texas, met with 3 presidents. He had all of his bank account cleaned out. But there is another type of scam I want to ask you about, and it's something that Arkansas Veterans Network has been working on for the last year, and they have on their website, arkansasveteransnetwork.org, a proposed legislation, and it's called the Fred Potter Senior Citizen Financial Protection Act. And what that is all about, if you look at a case about Fred Potter, he's from Alma, Arkansas, and the case is out of Waldron, and it's more of a scam that involves the judiciary, and it's gotten a lot of attention on the state and national level. How do we go and protect these veterans that really, because the judiciary and what they're doing to this man, a 90-year-old Army and Marine veteran, he was a multimillionaire. And then what specifically they done, I won't go into all the case by all means, but he went just recently, about a month ago, to visit his wife who passed away 7 years ago, and found out that the headstone marker was removed, and a party to the other side of the case had buried her dad there. And we find out that there is no authority in Arkansas that regulates non-perpetual cemetery. And so we need protection on that. And what can you say about something of that nature?
Well, that's a very specific case, and just learning and hearing about the facts from you would actually be something we would want to look into. And it sounds absolutely disgraceful that something of that nature would happen. But we, again, at the Attorney General's office, I've made it a priority to do a number of things, not only to have staff members dedicated to working with our veterans and active duty military, but we've also put up financial resources from lawsuit settlement money. I put up money to put in the Veterans Home in North Little Rock. We put money up from my office for that. We put up money to establish the Veteran Services offices across the state. Originally, there were 9. I'm not sure if there are still 9, maybe 7 now, but we put money up from my office, the Attorney General's office, to establish those VSOs. Most recently, I put $1.5 million into a veterans legal clinic at the Bowen School of Law in Little Rock. And so we are, again, actively, aggressively looking for ways to take care of our brave men and women. Certainly, as the daughter of a veteran, I know the importance of taking care of our brave men and women, and we want to make sure that we encourage future generations to serve our country and our state in this incredible profession.
You made a statement there. You're the daughter of a veteran?
I am. My dad served in the Army.
And was you born when he served?
No, I was.
Okay.
I was not born until 1976. So I'll let you all do the math. How old I am, but he served in the mid 60s, and a number of uncles served. Grandparents, and just, we have an incredible team at the Attorney General's office. I love to hire veterans at the Attorney General's office. They have an incredible work ethic. One of the agents who is here with me is a veteran. He was waving his hand at me just now. So we've got lots of veterans at the Attorney General's office, family members of active duty service members. My communications director, Amanda, is the wife of a C-130 pilot. So we pursue folks with that incredible work ethic, loyalty, and love for America and for Arkansas.
I do appreciate it. And of course, her husband was in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force. So that makes me excited right there. But the reason why I asked you if you was born while he served, 4 years ago, I was having lunch with a state senator, and we was coming out of the Capitol after we just did a video together, and waiting across the street, she was telling me about her dad was a naval flight surgeon and all the places she lived while he served. And I said, oh, I could call you a Navy brat. Well, this lady behind us said, Senator, is this bad disrespecting you, calling you names? And she said, if you don't understand our lingo, please stay out of the conversation. So, but I was at the VA a few weeks ago in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we was talking about your initiative, your programs, and you mentioned about giving all this money and making sure money's available. And I made a comment, this Attorney General puts her money where her mouth is, and we appreciate it so much. So what's in the future for you yourself and your office?
Well, for the office, we're going to keep working hard. The last 2.5 years of my administration, we're going to go out as hard as we come in. We have much public service announcements. We normally get 200 to 300 calls per week, but now we get 2,000 to 3,000 phone calls per week. Every year, I travel to all 75 counties and hold Rutledge roundtables, meeting with local leaders and community members about what's going on in their hometowns. We also have the office do mobile offices, staff do, across Arkansas, all 75 counties each year. We've had more Medicaid fraud convictions in my first 4 years than the 16 years prior to that combined. So we're just going to keep working hard and doing our job. For myself, I have officially announced my campaign to be the next governor for the state of Arkansas when our governor, Asa Hutchinson, is term limited. And so we are busy being the Attorney General, running for governor, most importantly, being a mom to an incredible 2-year-old, being the wife of a row crop farmer who for it to rain a little more now than it has been. He and the good Lord are trying to work out an irrigation schedule. But we are busy, and, just want to continue serving the people of Arkansas and making certain that Arkansas is first in everything from taking care of our veterans, our infrastructure, education, economic opportunities, and manufacturing, and others.
If you don't mind me, I want to talk just a little bit about the fact of being a woman attorney general, because I am a big advocate. I don't care if you're man, woman, or whatever, if you're qualified, but to our especially our returning veterans, and encouraging them to take advantage of all the programs our universities have and other places that have to get education. A lot of them consider law. What was it like for you going into law when you first did, getting into school, and how it has evolved today?
Well, my father is an attorney, and that's what he was able to use his time in the service, and came back to the University of Arkansas and became an attorney. And so that sort of led me to the law, but it's a very fulfilling career because you're able to help take care of people. And I know most people, when they think of lawyers, they don't think that way, but being able to take care of folks, to help them out with their problems, whether it's ensuring that their will is properly written, taking care of someone who's been hurt on the job, or in my job as the Attorney General, we get to go after bad guys and make sure that the criminals are locked away and they can't hurt children or other innocent victims, and make certain that we go after bad businesses who take advantage of our Kansans, those who take advantage of taxpayers. So I find the law an extraordinarily rewarding career, and I would encourage any veteran, any active duty to get in, consider law, because the rule of law in America is so important. And that's why when we see conversations going on today about tearing down the rule of law and not respecting it, we've got to shut those conversations down immediately, and that rhetoric down immediately, because as Arkansans, as Americans, that is what our country was founded on, and we've got to all stand together and stand strong in support of the rule of law.
Amen on that one. Because all the images we see from other parts of the country, and especially as veterans, we're seeing the symbol of our freedom destroyed, and just, you get into anarchy. But it is so wonderful to have people like you serving and going to continue to serve not only their state but also the veterans. There's 250,000 veterans in Arkansas, and if you add families, just like you said, you might not be a veteran, but in my opinion you are. It's a family affair, and but everybody's related to a veteran, and that makes up also our great values in Arkansas. And I want to say this before I let you go, that one of the things I love about Arkansas, and I grew up in Texas, but I lived in Las Vegas for 3 years. It is so nice to be back in Arkansas and be able to speak with state officials that is proactive, wonderful. And it's also nice to go into a restaurant and ask for sweet tea and no one think I'm crazy. So when I get to Little Rock, I would love to meet you and maybe have some sweet tea.
Well, that sounds fantastic. When I travel all over the state, so we'll figure out a time to connect eyeball to eyeball and heart to heart. And that's what I think all of us have got to continue working together, particularly through this pandemic, and taking care of one another. And I just want our veterans and their family members to know that as your Attorney General, it's just an honor to serve you and to take care of you and your families, and we're going to continue to do so.
Thank you, Attorney General. We thank you for your leadership and your service to your state, and we look forward to talking with you again. For those in the radio audience, if you want to learn more about the Attorney General, Wesley Rutledge, go online to arkansasag.gov. That is Arkansas This is Thomas Hudson, the Talking Veteran.